Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
In the summer of 1999, I received a vision. There was an awareness that the purpose of every life experience, every thought, every relationship, every situation, every moment on this earth is for realizing our oneness with God. I saw two doors floating freely above a scene whose beauty could only be described as heaven on earth. On one door were written the words, "Dark Night of the Soul," and on the other door was written the word, "Gratitude." So the two doors, the one door had the words "Dark Night of the Soul," and the other door had the word "Gratitude." There was a knowing that I can consciously choose that door of gratitude to become aware of oneness, or life would choose the other door for me to create that same awareness. Through either door, consciously or unconsciously, life would lead me to oneness and ultimately to the creation of heaven on earth. Oh, that was a powerful vision and a powerful awareness that even to this day I am still realizing the significance of it. Let's take a much closer look at what this vision revealed. First of all, it gave us our divine purpose, the realization of oneness with God. And where is God? Where's God?
In you.
Yeah, everywhere. We know that the nature of God is omnipresence. God is everywhere, in you, in me, in all of life. So a realization of oneness is a realization of our oneness with each other and all that is. Secondly, it showed us that we have a choice. We can continue to kind of sleepwalk through life, learning our lessons through the bumps and grinds and sometimes very uncomfortable ways to awaken, or we can choose that door of gratitude to awaken. And I would suspect awakening much more quickly that way. And the third thing that it revealed is that no matter what door we choose, what path we take, it ultimately will result in creating heaven on earth. Boy, is that reassuring, right? So, why gratitude? Gratitude causes a mental adjustment which aligns us with divine flow. It opens our hearts and our minds to a constant acknowledgement and appreciation of the source of our good. And that is what I believe really awakens us to that realization of oneness. Gratitude is that rich, fertile soil through which the higher emotions like love, joy, peace, happiness, and even bliss take root, blossom, and grow. Gratitude is a shortcut to peace of mind. It can lift us up out of the muck and mire of negative thinking and restore us to balance and well-being. There isn't any situation that we find ourselves in that we can't find something to be grateful for if we simply look. Science has proven over and over again through their research that gratitude is healthy for us. One of those tests was where scientists actually tested the immune systems of people who were participating in this experiment, and they asked them to stay in a state of gratitude, feeling gratitude for 10 minutes a day for 4 consecutive days. And at the end of that 4-day period, they measured their immune systems again, and they had boosted by 50%.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. We have a real life testimonial for how much gratitude heals. Last year, on November 11th, here in this sanctuary, Reverend Cindy was giving a Sunday service message on gratitude in preparation for Thanksgiving. And then at the end of her talk, she asked the people that were present, do you have an experience of gratitude you'd like to share? Immediately, Reverend Beth Linguri came up and she said exactly these words. Gratitude is the most powerful creative force in the universe. Gratitude in difficult times is the hardest part for me, and the hardest part for everyone, to give thanks for those challenges which come into our lives. So I share with you a personal experience that is so powerful, it is almost unbelievable, but it is true. This past Sunday, I was in the emergency room at West Marion Hospital, diagnosed with a heart attack. I had gone in Saturday night with chest pains, shortness of breath, irregular blood pressure. I had all of the symptoms that the doctors all put together. They took electrocardiograms, they took blood tests, and they said, you had a heart attack. So what to do in this situation? I go back to the teaching very quickly. It didn't take me long. And this is the value of practicing this on a regular basis, so that when you are in that moment that, oh, you go right there. You don't stay anywhere else. You just move right into that place. Oh my goodness, I guess for about 5 minutes I was in that place of fear and worry. And then I moved into that place of gratitude. I looked at every individual who served me and said, thank you. Thank you from my heart of hearts. I thanked my husband who was beside me holding my hand. I thanked each person who came in to serve me in a way of healing. And I also thanked this experience for whatever I had to learn from it. I stayed overnight. They gave me all of the tests, the stress tests, and I met with the cardiologist on Sunday morning, and he said, well, whatever I saw on Saturday is not there anymore, and you are totally free. You are totally healed, and you have no heart attack. You have no heart attack. Nothing. Maybe you had some indigestion. I have been handing out, similar to what I've included in the bulletin today, this, what I call the 2 Doors vision, but it wasn't until May of last year that I actually gave a talk about it. It was at a women's expo held at the college here in Ocala. And as I was formulating that talk the week before, I promised myself that I would live in heart-centered gratitude, because I wanted to prove to myself what this vision was saying was true. So that's what I did, and I said, no matter what comes up this week, I'm staying in heart-centered gratitude. And of course, life always graciously gives us something to prove such truth. On Tuesday of that week, which was May 15th, the talk was on Sunday afternoon, May 20th. I wrote an email to a woman with whom I had contracted for business mentoring. I had contracted for 3 months, and May 15th marked 1.5 months into that contract, but I had not received the services that I had been promised. And so in my email, while still maintaining heart-centered gratitude, I canceled the contract, and I asked for a refund of half since half of the time had elapsed. I received a response back from her the next day, and she encouraged me to stay in the program, that she felt sure that I would receive what I was looking for. But if I really did want to cancel the contract, she would refund me a certain amount, which was much less than the half that I had requested. I didn't know how to respond to this. So I promised myself that I would not respond until I could do so in a way that would maintain that feeling of heart-centered gratitude. Several days went by, and Friday morning in meditation, I received the exact words of how to reply to this email. Now, I was in meditation, I wasn't thinking about a thing, but those words came. And as soon as the meditation was over, I went to the computer, I typed out those exact words to her as a response and let it go. And I also assured myself later that whatever the outcome was, whatever her response, I was maintaining heart-centered gratitude. And I rationalized with myself that, well, maybe Spirit was just using me to financially support this woman's ministry. And I would be okay with that. We've done that all our lives, really. The next evening, Saturday evening, the night before the talk on Sunday afternoon, I received a reply back from her. She said she was refunding the entire amount, not the half that I had requested.
Okay.
Gratitude is the open door through which our good comes to us.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I need a clicker? Or
Gotcha.
is it on? This is what HeartMath, the organization that has been doing research for decades on the emotions and the effects that it has on our entire body, our nervous system, everything. So this is what they had to say in an article they published called The Appreciative Heart. They said that people who maintain a positive emotion in their heart, such as appreciation, will experience these benefits: a deep sense of peace and balance, harmony with oneself and others and the environment, buoyancy, vitality, perceptions that seem richer, invigoration. Our buttons won't get pushed as often, things won't get to us. Our body will feel rejuvenated and regenerated. Our mind is clearer, decisions are more easily made, priorities clarify, inner conflicts dissolve, intuitive insight provides solutions, like those words that came to me in meditation. Creativity flows, and we have a greater connectedness with others and a deeper sense of fulfillment. So how do we cultivate an attitude of gratitude? Be thankful for everything. When you wake up in the morning, before you even open your eyes, be thankful for the new day. Before your feet even hit the floor, be thankful that you woke up on this side of the grass. Be thankful for the house you live in, the car you drive, the food you eat, the clothes you wear. Be thankful for your family, your friends, your neighbors, the people with whom you work. Be thankful for the sunny days and the rain ones, the cooler days and the heat, the beauty of nature and the bugs. And if something unpleasant occurs, if we can just learn to pause, take that deep breath, and come right back into our heart, feeling into that emotion of gratitude, which we have already established by living every day in heart-centered gratitude. That makes it easy. Just like Reverend Beth said in her testimonial, it makes it easy then to get right back there and restore that sense of gratitude. We want to develop that heart-centered gratitude so much so that it becomes our emotional set point, our emotional signature. And the more and more often and consistently we live in heart-centered gratitude, the stronger and more powerful our electromagnetic field of gratitude becomes, transforming not only us, but the world around us, especially the people closest to us.
I like the sound of it.
Yeah, I do too, doesn't it? So, can creating heaven on earth be as simple as maintaining a state of gratitude?
Yes.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't our Creator, whose pleasure it is to bring us the kingdom, make it easy for us, so easy that all we have to do is choose gratitude to create unbounded love, happiness, and prosperity in our lives? Seems reasonable to me, right? Let's see what the Bible has to say about it. Oops, wrong way. In all things give thanks. That's from Thessalonians. Well, that's pretty clear, isn't it? In all things give thanks. It's right there. And then let's look at Isaiah 65:17-19. Want to read this together? For I am about to create new heavens and a new earth. The former things shall not be remembered or come to mind, but be glad and rejoice forever in what I am creating. For I am about to create Jerusalem as a joy and its people as a delight. I will rejoice in Jerusalem and delight in my people. Metaphysically speaking, heaven is Christ consciousness. It's consciousness in harmony with the thoughts of God. Jerusalem represents an abiding consciousness of spiritual peace, spiritual poise, and confidence. And let's see what Ernest Holmes says. He's the founder, of course we know, everyone here knows, the founder of religious science, now called Center for Spiritual Living, and the author of Science of Mind. He says, the mechanical laws of nature are set and immutable, but the spontaneous recognition of these laws gives us the power to bring them into practical use in everyday life and experience. We discover laws, find out how they work, and then begin to use them. A few months after that talk in May, I sent out an email to a large number of people, and in it I included this, what I call the 2 doors vision, what you have as a handout. And I asked everyone who would be willing to participate in a 7-day experiment of living in heart-centered gratitude, which meant putting gratitude as the #1 priority, staying in that heart-centered gratitude space all day long, every day for 7 consecutive days. No matter what came up in your life, no matter what, that the priority was to stay in that heart-centered gratitude. And you could deal with whatever came up when you could do so in a way that still maintained that heart-centered in gratitude. Several people responded, and one of them was Connie Myers, a friend of mine. She truly embraced that practice, and even before the 7 days was over, she sent me an email and talking about 2 different instances with 2 different friends on 2 different occasions, that the conversation was such that had never been before in her experience in friendship with the both of them. And she was elated. She was elated. I didn't hear from Connie again until I saw her when Dave and I went to a Christmas Eve church service. Now that's several months later. And unbeknownst to me, Connie Myers had been doing this practice of living in heart-centered gratitude every day since August. Wow. As soon as she saw me, she came right up and she said, I have testimonials for you. Fortunately, we had arrived at that service early and I was able to sit right next to her, and I asked Connie, what were your testimonials? She was beaming, just brighter than even the Christmas lights that were on the altar. As she related the first experience was, she said, well, I know that you're aware that about 4 or 5 years ago I had several strokes. She said, something came up about a month ago that my doctor wanted to do a brain MRI. And heart, I guess an MRI, which shows the heart as well. She said, there is no evidence of any heart condition now. And she says, even the 2 previous strokes that I experienced evidence of it has almost completely disappeared. Then a man came up that obviously Connie and he had a nice cordial relationship with, who wanted to sit in the aisle we were in, but there was no space there. He needed to go around the back side and then come in the other side. As he left to go around and find a seat, she said, that man needed a home. And at first I was really anxious about asking a stranger to come and live with me, but I felt into my heart and I felt the gratitude and the love, and I asked him if he would like to come and live with me. And she said, his whole life has changed. He is getting to know people, he is getting on his feet, and he has been such a godsend to me. He helps me in every way he can in the house, and he is grateful all the time, not only for what he is receiving, but just for life itself. And then she went on to say, and my son had lost his job, and within just a couple of weeks, he was offered a job by a company that was so much better than the one that he was in, making 2.5 times what he was making before, and he loves what he's doing. She said, and then most precious to me is that he is now focusing on spiritual things like heart and love.
Thank you. Since you're talking about me for a minute, that's now what's in my story.
That's your story.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
wonderful. That can be every one of our stories. Every one of us. So, you know, the Christmas holidays went on, and so it was after New Year when I contacted Connie again, and I told her I was going to be giving this talk, and I asked her permission to relate those stories, and she said, oh, of course. And she emailed me with all kinds of other things that went on since she's been living in heart-centered gratitude every day. And I won't share all of those because I already shared 3, but there were many more. But I did want to share a couple of things that she said. She said, each day seems to bring much joy and peace. People that I may have distanced myself from because of differences of opinion have re-entered my life with all of those differences subsiding. I feel love at every turn. When I place my attention on my heart with my hands, I may not say the same thing every time. I take a moment to actually feel how grateful I am for all I am receiving, and joyously, with all my heart, give thanks. We're going to end this talk with a guided meditation, so about 5 minutes, by Brother David Steindl-Rest. He is a Benedictine monk whose mission has been for decades now to spread the word about the power of gratefulness. His voice and the words that he says in this beautiful meditation are ones that will just naturally bring you down into your heart center in gratitude. So just relax and enjoy what Brother David has to say.
You think this is just another day in your life? It's not just another day. It's the one day that is given to you today. It's given to you. It's a gift. It's the only gift that you have right now, and the only appropriate response is gratefulness. If you do nothing else but to cultivate that response to the great gift that this unique day is, if you learn to respond as if it were the first day in your life and the very last day, then you will have spent this day very well. Begin by opening your eyes and be surprised that you have eyes you can open. That incredible array of colors that is constantly offered to us for pure enjoyment. Look at the sky. We so rarely look at the sky. We so rarely note how different it is from moment to moment with clouds coming and going. We just think of the weather. And even of the weather, we don't think of all the many nuances of weather. We just think of good weather and bad weather. This day, right now, is unique weather. Maybe a kind that will never exactly in that form come again. The formation of clouds in the sky will never be the same that it is right now. Open your eyes, look at that. Look at the faces of people whom you meet. Each one has an incredible story behind their face. A story that you could never fully fathom. Not only their own story, but the story of their ancestors. We all go back so far. And in this present moment, on this day, all the people you meet, all that life from generations and from so many places all over the world, flows together and meets you here like a life-giving water if you only open your heart and drink. Open your heart to the incredible gifts that civilization gives to us. You flip a switch and there's electric light. You turn a faucet and there's warm water and cold water and drinkable water. It's a gift that millions and millions in the world will never experience. So these are just a few of an enormous number of gifts to which we can open your heart. And so I wish you that you will open your heart to all these blessings. and let them flow through you. That everyone who you will meet on this day will be blessed by you. Just by your eyes, by your smile, by your touch, just by your presence. Let the gratefulness overflow into blessing all around you. And then it will really be a good day.
So as you feel that heart-centered gratitude, just take a moment to memorize it. Memorize it in your heart so that you can return here or stay here or maintain that feeling all the time as much as possible. One of the things I like to do is to remind myself of the purpose of doing this, living in heart-centered gratitude, by saying this affirmation several times a day. I am creating heaven on earth by living in heart-centered gratitude. Can we say that together now, please? I am creating heaven on earth by living in heart-centered gratitude. And so we are. I have those sign-up sheets. There's one over there, and I have one with me here. For anyone who would like to participate in this next 7-day heart-centered gratitude experiment, where for 7 days we commit to living that way and seeing for yourself, through your own personal experience, what transforms in your life. If you would join me in that, I really appreciate that, because I think we can really cause that paradigm shift when enough of us live in heart-centered gratitude. I'd like to thank Reverend Cindy for asking me to speak today. Thank every one of you, the staff, the volunteers who made this service possible, which are many people working together every week to bring it to us. And most of all, I'd like to thank you for your presence. Namaste.